So unprofessional.
And I know it's true. I walked with you once upon
That's actually one of my...
a dream.
I was going to say something nice about you, but I think I'm going to take it back. That's actually one of my first, like, real memories of you, is you singing that song to me, like, all the time. And it's quite comforting. Like, it never felt creepy.
Oh. Thank God I wasn't a creep. Hey, Morgan wasn't a creep once. Ooh. Headline fucking news. Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. I got beautiful for you guys today. I hope you're happy.
Welcome
My
back.
glam squad came in today. We've got a live studio audience right now. Claire's over here on the couch. She's not ready for her guest episode yet, so if you were looking forward to that, suck it up. She's manspreading on the couch. Hey, what the hell is up?
Hey, kids. You might notice in the video version, the video live action version, that Morgan has 4 to 5 little face stars on his face covering it. So you probably can't. Look, do you see that? I have a multitude of stars covering up. I look like fucking Zuko from Avatar Last Airbender because I was working all day. And one of my fucking Czech coworker, he looked at me and said, "Oh, you have something on your face." Yeah, Peter. It's a cyst. Yeah, it's a cyst pouring out of my lips, and I look like I have Mr. Crab all over. Like, don't fucking... Like, everyone else was, like, kind and wasn't, like, their eyes weren't dropping down to the burning red hot, like, mound of acne.
I have a really bad habit of, like, if something's going on, my eyes direct... I try so hard.
You know what that is? Autism.
Is that actually?
No, that's like...
I try so fucking hard, and the harder I try, the more I'm like, it just... And I'm looking, and then obviously, like, I have the same thing. Don't look at me. If I have a spot, I don't want that either.
It looked at me first.
The other day, Paris had like a little something on her face, and I just kept... I wouldn't even look at it, and I feel like I'm generally really good at making eye contact, and I was just looking at it, and she was like, "Don't look at it," and I was like, I'm not judging you. What, am I autistic?
It's like that thing when little kids, like or when
they're like, "You're fat."
Yeah.
To a pregnant lady.
Or they like see someone in a wheelchair and they like cannot take their eyes off of them. And it's like, dude, stop. Like,
you've got to stop.
Let a person, I know you're 5, but you've got to educate yourself.
Get kindergartners woke 2025.
Get freaking woke. Like, I'm being dead fucking serious.
Claire, does this mean you're not going to listen to this
podcast
episode? She's going to listen to it twice.
You can turn on one volume and play it in the background 1 billion times.
True. Play it for all your clients so we can get put on. You say this is a really big, huge, hard-hitting podcast. It's really huge. It's world-renowned.
Yeah.
You haven't heard of it?
Everyone's talking about it. It's not niche. We're not fucking niche.
We're not niche. I cut my... Well, I did not, actually.
You literally Freudian slip in front.
I had Claire come... Okay, well, I texted Claire and I said, I am going to cut my extensions, the ones that she so graciously matched to my hair color for Coachella, but they were way too long. I looked Amish. Is that bad to say?
They're not going to see it. We can say whatever the hell we want about them. What are they going to do? Pull up the script? They're going to ride their horse and buggy to Echo Park?
No, they have beautiful hair, but it was just really long and really poofy, which, like, I don't know. They don't have access to, what makes your hair not poofy?
Hairbrush.
Hairbrush. Oh, my God. VeggieTales hairbrush song.
Oh, that song was so good.
Where is my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush?
That
oh, where?
Dude,
is my hairbrush?
My headphones are really loud, by the way. Thank you for that. Nothing nice and sobering after a long shift that made you want to...
Yeah, I'm trying to unsober him, though. We got him a glass of wine, and I took 2 shots of tequila. What's new?
I need a little bit of lubricant because sometimes working your little 5-hour barista shift feels like a fucking Michael Bay movie, and there's explosions going off, and someone's shooting a gun at you, and you're the only one doing anything, and you want to fucking die. So now I have a little bit of wine in me to help me, like, ride the wave of the podcast.
Yeah, Morgan came over and I was like, why is everyone being weird towards me? And then I just realized he just had a bad day at work, and then I felt bad.
I'm like,
he has a job.
I'm like, hey, girl, I've been up since 6 a.m.
He has a job, but we're gonna get him out.
Guys, help me escape.
I'm gonna do the thing with the rope down into beach.
No one's gonna notice.
What is the song that goes with that?
Dun 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 dun. And then grab me out by my rat tail that I'll soon have. I'm gonna
swing you around. The Hulk.
No, back to VeggieTales. Did you know that the creators have since now denounced their faith? They learned and grew, and they're like, actually,
I didn't know
maybe
that.
we
but
shouldn't
it's
give
crazy
propaganda to children.
I remember really enjoying that. I grew up going to Sunday school.
Oh, me too.
And I really liked it. But honestly, it's not. Maybe I'm watching episodes that aren't as. Like, the hairbrush song has nothing to do with God. So the ones that I'm watching, it's like we have a laugh track in the back, but it's just clear. Yeah, the media from VeggieTales that I'm consuming doesn't have a lot to do with God. So maybe that's I don't know. I'm taking Dylan to church for the first time this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Looking up godless VeggieTale episodes on Reddit.
Please.
Hey Reddit, what's the most godless VeggieTale episode? I'm looking to enjoy something without any existential crisis about the spiritual beyond.
Dylan was like, can I not go? Because I'm taking Dylan home for Easter. He said, can I not go? And I was like, my mom will never speak to you again, by the way. But I think he's going to want to see Presley in a little bunny outfit at church. So
Presley, you should be the egg.
He looks like an egg without a costume on.
Yeah,
he's bald.
Just paint him up.
He's bald.
I haven't stepped foot in a church. I haven't stepped into church since I was 17 and a half. And I might be a little, I'll just say thank God for that, Because, man, I had a bad experience with it.
In church, specifically, or just, like, religion in general?
Both.
Yeah.
When I was working at my first job, I requested to have weekends, specifically.
So you didn't have to go to church?
So I didn't have to go to church, so I could tell, like, my dad that I was like, well, these are really good shifts, and I can't, like, it's really good money,
That's
and
smart.
I can't, like, if I don't take them, someone else will, and then I don't know when I'll, like, this is basically a promotion. At a fucking coffee shop. Okay.
I got a promotion. I can't go to church.
And my father put capitalism against my spiritual eternity. So, and I never had to go again. He was like, so there's this thing about God and learning more about him and saving your eternal soul. But there's also my son making more money, and he's also paying rent at 17.
That's the hitter.
You're going to pay a little bit more rent, buddy. Okay, whatever.
I think the only bad time that I had at church, at least like what I haven't blocked out of my memory as a child, was my best friend growing up. Her parents had gotten a divorce. I don't know if they had been divorced. My memory is quite fuzzy from all of my childhood trauma, but I don't remember if they had been divorced since I had known her. I think they were. Whatever. He ended up like coming to work at the church, and I remember like just hearing horror stories about him. And then when I saw him teaching my little Sunday school, I called my mom sobbing, crying, like freaking out about it. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. Because I just thought that he was like the spawn of Satan from what I had heard. He may be, I don't know. I was just a girl.
No, you really get thrown into some adult situations when you're in an organized religious scenario for literally no reason. Like, hey, I know you're 7, but we really need your take on like this faggot. We really need your take on like who's going to hell.
Yeah.
It's like
everyone just needs to mind their own business.
Kid.
That's my personal opinion on it is everyone needs to mind their own business. You can just stop forcing things down people's throats, okay? Because I've said this before, like I personally believe in God, maybe not the like Christian religion God that I grew up with. Like I have my own personal relationship, but I have a lot of like religious trauma from growing up. Like oh my God, I have death anxiety specifically because of how I grew up and the things that I was told. Oh, you're going to burn in hell? I'm sorry. That's terrifying. Don't tell a child that.
No, the fucking anxiety. Because I grew up independent Baptist, which just means, so we're going to take an organized religion and we're going to make it just a tad bit scarier by actually removing it from all other
so you can't talk to anyone else about it.
No, literally.
It's
like
a cult.
yeah, it's basically, I basically grew up in a franking cult. And I, at one point I like was talking to my mom and I was like, love you so much, girl. And I know this is all you ever knew, but instilling in a 5-year-old, that they need to apologize for everything all the time.
Or
Every
else
single
if they
day.
die, they're gonna go to hell.
In my head, like if I had to be apologizing for even thoughts that I had that were that were unchristian, if I did anything that could be perceived as bad, I was constantly in my head apologizing.
Also, like being gay,
Like,
constant. Oh, just that. You're done. You're done.
I thought I was the only, because I grew up in a town of 30 people. My family was 9 of it. And the only gay representation I knew were literally like butt end of jokes on like TV or movies. So I literally thought like,
oh, I'm the worst person.
Yeah,
in the
I was
world.
like, these are characters. Like these are just characters. There's no actual like real life gay men and women and like whatever.
Yeah,
like
you were so secluded,
I'm the
especially
only
being
one.
homeschooled. I can't imagine like.
I'm not gonna say this very crudely, but when I first discovered myself.
When I first looked in the mirror and I sat down.
And then I sat down and then I went Maya Ishi Peters on it.
And I went boy oy 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 oy.
Boing. When I went Ishi Peters all over it. Yeah, so I would get so physically sick, I would have a fever and I would give myself stomach ulcers from the stress of discovering.
Masturbating?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Like there would be times where I would do it and then I would actually be feverish and so stressed and I would have stomach ulcers and my stomach would be in pain for like majority of like my preteens.
So
like my preteens, I was actually like constantly had a knot in my stomach because I was like, someone's going to find out, like God knows he's going to strike me down.
How old were you when you told someone for the first time? Like, or
I never told anyone really until I told someone when I was like 17 because I was like talking to this fucking random ass guy and we were like FaceTiming in a FaceTime relationship as you do for your
as
first
you do
relationship.
When you're 17.
And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gay. And then I was like, we stopped talking and I was like, actually I'm not.
He's gonna tell everyone.
Actually I learned differently and I'm actually straight, like big time. And then I just never like talked about it again. Then I was like, I'm not going to do a coming out post. I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm here and I'm queer. And like, here's the thing, boys, I'm on the table, but like, you can't reach this table. It's too tall. Who gives a fuck? Like, I'm gay. I'm a fucking queer. Okay, move on. Like, what else? Spell Pharaoh. Like, you're gay? Okay, spell Pharaoh too. I never really dove in that deep with the whole
coming out.
No.
Yeah. I don't think you should have to come out. Like, the way that I want to raise my children is, like, you know when you grow up and, do you have it? You're a girl. Do you have any boyfriends at school? You're a boy. Do you have any girlfriends at school? Do you have a crush? Like, I want it to be from the get-go very, like, hey, if we're getting inclusive, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? Like, because I feel like it takes so much pressure off. And, hey, a lot of the times, I know, obviously, if you're gay, but, like, I don't know. Some parents, I swear to God, you're pushing your children into it by how homophobic you are. Like, you're the reason.
No,
you're the reason.
Some families very close to me, literally to very recently, still ask me the question. All those pretty girls you post with, you dating any of them? I'm
That's
like, I just posted a photo with like pube out showing fucking arch, like my tits out, and I'm like, you think that is for a girl?
How's that podcast you started with your girlfriend?
You're dating that. You're
dating that girl in the podcast.
That
right?
girl you're super close with, and you probably kiss a bunch. We do kiss a bunch, but it's like how cousins kiss. Yeah. It's literally kissing cousins, bitch. Yeah, so I think it's really funny how like you can just like look someone in the face. I'm like, I have a nose ring, I have 4 ear piercings, and I'm a barista. You think this man is out here like going on a date with a girl, buying her wine, and then going and getting nasty down under the roof of a car?
You do that with me though, but just me.
Yeah.
At least you make good coffee. You may be going to hell, but you make a good latte, Mom.
Guys, I've always said this. If you let me die as a barista, I'm coming back to haunt each and every single one of you.
Morgan was spiraling. He texted me one day, and he's like, am I going to die as a loser or a barista? It's like, neither. Maybe loser, never barista.
No, because I literally was, like, going through it. I, like, mentioned this in the last episode on the Matter podcast. But I was like, whoa, I was really, really fighting for my life for the first beginning of this year. Like, whoa, what does it all mean? What do I do? Like, hello, Flop City, population, me, big time. Like, I've got a long-term estate there.
Because we had this, like, we had the grand idea of us starting a podcast, and, like, we're like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to be huge. We're going to make it in the city. And then we didn't do it for
so
months
long.
And months.
And when you don't do it for so long, it's like,
oh, it's never going to.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, did you still want to, like, you don't want to be, hey, so, like, really cool idea. Remember that really fun idea?
No, well, I felt really nervous even asking you if you wanted to, because I always had said that I wanted to start a podcast, but the fuck am I going to talk about by myself? It would, like, I would put myself in psychosis talking to a camera. Hey, that's my job anyways.
By 27 minutes in, your eyes are going in a spiral.
La, la. What's the Tiny Tim song?
No,
Tiptoe through the window, by the window. Anyways.
Good stuff. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, I texted Morgan and I said, I know, like, you have your podcast, and is there any rhyme or reason? Like, could we maybe, what if we? And then he said, yeah, fuck yeah.
It felt like, sports coming. I felt like when a major player in a team got traded to another huger team. That's how it felt. I felt like I went from the fucking
You're in the big leagues now.
I went from the Lakers to the Celtics. I don't know shit about basketball.
I think that's
Let me know if that's
probably reverse. I don't know actually about the Celtics. I don't know anything about sports actually.
That's good.
My belly button piercing I think is maybe infected. Should I not touch it?
You probably shouldn't touch it, girl.
I think I want that skin off of it.
But yeah, so Jaden texted me and I was like, whoa, I am so excited about this, but I'm also weary of promises made by another because I don't want to get my heart set
and it was in December.
Yeah.
We were like, pushing it for like early Jan.
Yeah. But luckily we're like, hey guys.
We made it.
The good thing about this, we released a podcast just like 2 or 3 months after the beginning of the year. You know we're here for the long haul.
Yeah, because it wasn't like
we're not a January 1st.
Going to the gym 1st of January. You're never seen there again.
Like, we've wanted to die and we've still been recording. Now that is big.
Now that's hard-hitting news, everyone.
Yeah, but we're here. I don't want to die anymore. Hey guys, new episode. I don't want to die anymore. I'm happy.
As of right now that we're filming, or as of since we started the podcast?
As of just life in general. Life is going actually pretty swimmingly. I feel like I haven't had half a second to breathe.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to drown a little.
Drown a little to be resuscitated by a hot, sexy lifeguard. And the hot, sexy lifeguard is our podcast.
It is. Guys, isn't the hot, sexy lifeguard the podcast? So Jaden put on her story asking you, our beautiful and faithful followers and listeners.
Yeah, our faithful followers that didn't comment on our third podcast episode.
No, Jaden, I was looking at that. I was gonna text you about it and be like, hey, so what the hell's going on?
No, let's be grateful. Let's be grateful.
Yeah, let's be grateful. And then she texted me, she's like, not a single comment, what the hell? And I was like, we literally released such a good episode. They were all left speechless. There was we used every single word in the episode that could be written down, and no one could speak.
Like, when usually someone's like quotes you and they're like, "That was so funny." It was so funny that they couldn't even repeat us.
They'd have to go 0 to like 59.83 seconds because
they would have to recite. They'd have to go in, chat GPT our entire episode to get everything written down and then comment it. And that's just too much work.
And be like,
we know that you guys are like really good for the environment and like you'll never use chat GPT.
Think for yourself.
So
yeah,
that's why we had no comments on our video.
I was like, I texted you. I was like, so there's an ebb and a flow.
It'll go. It'll come and it'll go.
It'll come and it'll go. And I was like, but it was very funny that not a single person commented on the video.
Because like it had like 1,000.
No, it had like 1,000 views, and not until after I put on the Instagram, I was like, so I know why you guys didn't say anything. I can feel your words. I don't need to see them.
We understand. We feel you.
I feel every word you wanted to say about that podcast. No need to comment it on a public forum.
Right. So if you're hearing this and you don't comment on it, we're gonna
be texting about it.
We're gonna text about it. We're gonna post it on the story. We're gonna go through and block each and every one of you that subscribe to us, make you beg in our DMs, then come back with multiple comments, and then we'll all be happy with you.
You're all in a little bit of jail.
You're in trouble.
You're gonna have to work this off.
Yeah. Imagine we post the Madison episode. Hey, we're going out of order. We've talked about this before, but the Madison episode. God, maybe she needs to be a reoccurring guest. You know.
She will, but she's literally over there yelling and yawling.
Claire's fucking pissed.
Why is she sitting like that anyway?
Cause she's gay. Cause she's gay. Anyways, yes. So I posted on my story and I said, let's talk questions. Let's talk advice. Let's talk.
Because we want to connect with you.
We need to know you.
We want to freaking connect with you.
Theo's looking at me like, stop singing, Mom. You're fucking horrible at that. Hi, Papa.
Let's just jump into this.
Let's jump in.
I'm 23 and have never slept with a girl before, and I am nervous about not knowing what to do. So, a quick little blurb for me. I've never slept with a girl either, so that didn't count.
Really?
Yeah. You think me sleep with girl?
That was a joke. I'm an actress.
Let's remember my headphones are very loud.
Can I not hear myself?
I think you can hear yourself.
Hello? I can. Yeah. I'm deaf, I think.
You're about to make me, girl.
He's gay.
I'm a platinum star gay.
I also gay, so I sleep girl also, and boy also. Gay girl.
I buy in theory.
Oh, fuck, I have to renew my card.
Yeah.
Shit. So I can talk about this right
Mine expired, and they won't let me back into the fucking
Yeah,
community.
you took too long. Anyways, so let me tell you about the first time I ever slept with a girl. And that'll well, I wouldn't recommend this, but whatever. Maybe do whatever you want. So no, I've talked about this before. I don't think she would care. One of my best friends from high school, my college roommate, loved that girl. Loved that girl so much. We were both very curious for like our end of high school, early college, like, damn, you know, I think I like girls. I think I would like to sleep with a girl. I want to explore that. And I had slept with this guy while I was in college, and we were at a party one night after we had been talking about like, oh, like maybe we could do it together, because I think that would be like, we'd feel more comfortable because we're both new, which I do think is good in theory to like, I mean, you're losing your virginity.
And then it's just two people banging on the drums.
Well, you're losing your virginity, like, again, basically, when you have sex with the other gender for the first time. I mean, that's when I left my, what the hell? That's when I lost my lady virginity. And so I was like, okay, idea. We're sitting at this party. We're a little drunk. I'm like, I've already had sex with so-and-so. What if we have a threesome? Right? I'm like, middleman. It'll
get
like
the facilitator.
Literally, it'll ease us into it. And so we get at it, and I think he was a part of it for maybe 15 minutes, and then he was like, I'm gonna go get you ladies some drinks. And we're in his house, in his bedroom, by the way. He leaves, we locked the door, and her and I just went at it like rabbits for fucking for into the night. And yeah, it was great.
Him sitting butt naked on
the
coldest couch holding two drinks. He's like, damn, I really wish I knew what was happening in there.
I wish I was in there. Yeah, so we locked him out, and
my mom said I can watch you guys. My mom said I could see that if you let me.
If you would let me in. Yeah, that happened, and then we were living together. We moved into a new place together, and we would text each other. Nothing was ever romantic, and still to this day, like, there was no like romance, no emotional connection there, other than was and is still my best friend. But we would text each other and be like, hey, from across the house. And we'd go into each other's room and diddle. Like, it was really, in our other roommate, she would like get upset, not in the way that she was like, let me in. She was like, damn, you guys have this connection that I don't get to be a part of because I'm straight. So that was always funny. So after that story, my advice is do it with a friend who also has it because was great. I mean, sure, yeah. Is it going to be
like going to an amusement park together. You don't know what you're about to get.
You don't know what you're going to get.
You don't know what you're about to get into, but you know you're going to ride together. If you both
don't know how to do it, you're kind of, I mean, God, you've probably watched porn. I mean, not that that's realistic, but like you know how to touch yourself, spark notes, like figure it out. Like do a little, hey, does this feel good? Does that feel good? How are we, communicate?
Yeah. You can talk. Hey, a lot of people you can talk during it.
Yes, that's my biggest advice for sex in general.
Everyone.
How you feeling? How you doing?
What would you like?
Consent is key.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my advice on that one.
How did you two accept your sexuality, overcome internalized bias/homophobia?
Go on. Claire. Bar. Waiter.
So personally, I had a hell of a lot of internalized shit because, like I mentioned, beforehand, before this topic on the podcast, I grew up with a
Hi, Claire. Not that perfect to me. Thank you, Mama.
Now that's a lady. So how I dealt with getting over that was just like learning that it really is, not to sound like a sappy goose, but being gay is literally such a beautiful thing. It is such a beautiful experience in the community that comes along with it in every way, shape, and form that it manifests itself is such a beautiful thing. Like, being a guy that's like, I'm only into mask guys, like I don't like your little girly voice. It's like, grow up. Like, you've got
a wide range of.
Yeah, I've dated.
You're not a picky fella. No. Not in like, he's got standards, but
yeah,
you're not picky at all.
I'll date anyone.
You'll pick anybody up off the street.
I'll spend the night anywhere.
Anywhere.
But really learning like, okay, this is my sexuality. This is how I feel. And coming to terms with who you are. And that's like a really hard thing because there's a lot of fucking mental hoops to jump through when you're figuring out who you like, what you like, and so on and so forth. But then just like accept it and like literally let that shit flow, because being gay is truly the best thing in the world. Like I don't see how anyone could be straight. Like I really don't. Like,
I always say I don't think anybody is.
I don't think anyone should be straight. Like, let's get everyone on top of everyone and make sure they're the same gender first, because it's just an important thing, and to deny that part of yourself is just kind of it's not ingenuous. Like, it's disingenuous.
Suppress it all you want. It's never going away.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lohanthony.
So my advice is just once you recognize what you want, who you want, just
have it.
Just have it and like learn, like take the steps, and also don't feel bad about having internalized shit. As long as you're not hurting someone else, go through the mental like
hurdles.
Go through the mental hurdles of like unraveling that shit. Cause I definitely had to do a lot of that where it's like, I want to be a gay man, but I'm scared of being too gay of a man. Am I wanted if I'm too gay of a man? It's like, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, you'll find someone that's right for you who doesn't give a fuck about that shit.
And people are going to be mad about it either way, like not even partner-wise, just like, oh, like a gay man who's like not too flaunty, or a lesbian who's not too mask, or a bisexual girl who has a preference for men. You know what I mean? Like they're homophobic either way. You're not going to, people are going to be homophobic if they're homophobic. And also, Morgan and I had similar upbringings in the sense of our family didn't love that,
I think go find that boy. Kiss him.
You know what? Go on.
Yeah,
I have my internalized homophobia came from just like I didn't have a lot of gay people around me either growing up. Like I didn't know this until later in life, but my best friend growing up, her grandma, we'd always go over to her house, and she's like, her best friend and roommate was always around. Like her best friend and roommate. They were lesbian grandmas, and I had no idea. Nobody told me that until I was like fucking 20 years old, which is so fucked up that I didn't realize that on my own. But I talk about this all the time. I think still to this day, like I always have ended up dating more men than I have women because of my family and just knowing that it's easier to bring a man home. And I don't mean the way that's like, it's so easy to date a man. Like, for my own circumstance, I tread that way because I know I'm not going to have to go through all the hoops and the jumps of my parents being like, well, and I've talked to my sister about this. Like, I know that if it came down to it and I brought somebody home, like, I do love my family and we are not on the same page with a lot of things, but I know that they love me. And if I brought someone home and I was like, I love this woman, this is what's happening, they would figure it out, which I feel like a lot of people don't have that. And I'm not saying that I have the best case scenario or the worst case scenario, but I don't know, it gave me a lot of like, internalized homophobia where I was like, it would just be easier if I went this way. It will just be easier. Like, I feel like I've even ruined relationships that I have had with women because I'm like, okay, you don't have a homophobic family. I don't want to put you in my environment and risk you being fucking, hey, hate crimed. I don't know. And I don't know. It just was a really hard, it's still kind of a hard pill for me to swallow. I wonder, like, if I grew up in a family that was maybe a little more accepting about that or more well-versed in the topic, that I'm like, maybe I would have brought home more you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, it's the what if, like, I don't know. And I just hope that I get the opportunity to raise my children in, like, a very accepting, loving environment where I'm like, it doesn't matter. I just want you to be happy and taken care of, and I want you to be loved. It doesn't matter.
And that you take your PrEP, gay son.
And that you take your PrEP, gay son.
You take your PrEP, gay son. Yeah, so end of the day, let that shit flow. Figure it out. Slow down and just be like, is this a real thing that's causing harm to me someone else is doing? Or am I internalizing my homophobia?
Yeah.
Because, hey, that happens to everyone, you know? Everyone really does, like, have those moments where they're like, wait, what? Gay person? And it's like, hey, that's the conditioning coming out.
That's the conditioning coming out.
So, yeah, you got it. You got it, person.
Rock on. You rock on, person.
Rock on, person. you person. Rock on. You rock on. And we're back after Mrs. UTI had to release again.
Guys, I can't drink any liquids while we're filming this. Why did you put that doo-doo streak
I don't
there?
know. It like, you know, when it just randomly writes on the screenshot,
You know,
like,
when you
that's meant to be there.
randomly shirt and
When you shirt on the screenshot,
I hate when that happens.
you read that one.
Okay. This says, not liking the big city you worked so hard to move to. Real and true.
Mm-hmm. I say time.
True.
You literally have to give that shit time. Like, the foundation is not going to just build up in even a year. You really have to give yourself plenty of time to just learn where your places you want to go, make new friends, like, find, like, it all just depends on, like, putting yourself out there a little bit, entering spaces that you want to, that resonate with you. And once again, allow it to come in a time that you do not know. You can't put that shit in a day planner when life is not going to be horrible anymore. It took me about 2 years living here, like a year and a half to 2 years living here, to not be like, I'm having the worst time of my life. Like, I'm actually, like, every single day a new stress is coming up, and like I'm gaining. I have a lot of white hair. I have a lot of white hair from stress. Like, I was very stressed out for the last 5 years, and I feel like I'm now entering a nice little plateau of, like, you don't have to be stressed always. You don't have to constantly be in fight or flight. You can be in fucking lay down, watch Survivor.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way when I moved to New York. That was always my dream so much in my heart. And I mean, I had moved there after I was in England for a little bit, but, like, I had a full-time job when I was in college that since I was 15, worked my ass off making money to be able to, like, save up and moved to New York. I got there, and yes, of course, beautiful, wonderful city. I don't even think it necessarily has to do with the city itself, because I've even had the moments in, like, LA, and I love LA so much, where I'm like, maybe this isn't the place, but I've now come to a point where I'm like, I really do think that this is where I'm going to spend most of my time, and this is where I'm maybe would even raise a family. But I don't know, in New York, I think it has a lot to do in general with your friends and your job, like, whatever you're doing, where you end up. And I didn't have a ton of close, good, like quality friends in New York. Like I hung out with like Madison, Flynn, and Bailey. Those were like the only people I really spent a lot of time with. And it was also just like New York was so overwhelming. I had so much anxiety, and it was just I'm sure that there's another point in my life where I could move there and be happy. And like I just think that wherever you live, your community has to be so strong, and it's so important that you have people that surround you that will like lift you up when you're in the dumps. And if you don't have that, it doesn't matter where you live. You could live in fucking Ohio and have the best people around you and have the best time of your life, because hey, the reason that I feel like my life is so incredible isn't because of anything I have, but it's because of my relationships. Like I have the best friends in the entire fucking world. I love my boyfriend so much. Like if I could pick everybody up and move them to the middle of nowhere, I know that we would all still be so happy because we have each other. So I think my biggest thing is like, I think when somebody's unhappy in a new city, it's because they haven't found their people yet, which I'm very lucky to have that. And that's hard. It's hard to make new friends, especially when you get older. Like, oh my God.
Which like it can be like kind of embarrassing to be like,
hey, I need friends.
Man, I want friends. But really, sometimes it just comes down to being like putting out a TikTok and being like,
I need friends.
I just moved out here. Like, I like this book.
That's how I met Flynn.
I want a friend. Really?
Flynn is one of my best friends. I met her. She moved to New York. She posted a TikTok and she was like, hi, I'm Flynn. Like, I just moved to New York. I want to make some friends. I work for Letterboxd, blah, blah, blah. I like this, and that. And I commented and I was like, me. And we've known each other now for like 3 years. And I just saw her yesterday. We went to this movie. Oh, also, sorry, quick intermission on the questions, but Flynn and I went and saw Sinners yesterday. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
You gotta.
All I know is I haven't seen a single trailer or anything from it, but I know like people are like, whoa.
Oh my God. That's one of the best movies I've seen in so long. Flynn and I said the same thing. It has a 4.2 right now in Letterboxd, which is kind of crazy boobs.
Yeah, because
it was so good, and I'm going to see it again when I go home. It's like classic vampire shit.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good. Go see it if you haven't. Anyways,
thank you, Sinners, for the
thank you, Sinners. Thank you, Sinners, for the promotion.
I'm kidding.
We're rich.
We didn't get that yet. We'll promote your movie.
But yeah, my biggest advice to that is, and I don't know, you might be like, no, I have the best friends in the world, and I'll be like, oops, sorry, my advice is wrong. But I don't know, do your best to like go to little groups and post something. Just be like, hey guys.
If you do have the best friends in the world and you also
maybe
hate where you live,
they're actually not that great.
Hey, pack up as a group squadron.
Pack up and get the hell out of
and
there.
Go somewhere you all find interesting.
Yeah.
I will say this on the Los Angeles front. I always see like videos and people being like, LA has an evil, dark, sinister energy. Like it has bad vibes.
LA doesn't have bad people. You just have bad friends.
And that's the fucking thing about it. Literally, because
that's the tea.
Your life really does replicate who you have around. And if you are hanging out with people who do not care if you live or die, as long as you hashtag mention them in a story, at the end of the day, those people aren't going to show up to the hospital to say, hey, how you doing?
So they're real, actually.
They're not even going to do that shit. It really, these places do not have bad people. You're just looking in the wrong spots. Usually.
Speaking of friends, someone said advice for making more queer friends, especially in a less queer area.
So my education of a less queer area from when I grew up, I kept my shit hidden for a while. I didn't really tell anyone or like come out or anything. So I didn't really grow up. I grew up with 0 queer friends. I didn't have any. And no one else was really queer and out and where I lived. So it was kind of like a you either are out and you're scared for your life, or you just go like this la 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 la, and then I move. But now living in a bigger city, I would also like to hear advice on this, because I personally, if you've been the population in my close friend story, I've been seeking hashtag community with gay guy friends, because I feel like I'm on the cusp of like
they all want to funk.
like they are like, oh, I don't want to be friends with him. I might want to have sex with him at some point, but I don't know where I'm and I'm like, can I just have can I have some gay guy friends and we watch a music video?
Gay platonic.
Can we
looking
have
for gay platonic?
And yeah, it's just like, when is my gay platonicity happening for me? But it's also fine. I personally cannot give advice for this because I'm also looking for that queer community. I have so many lesbian friends and I love all my lesbian friends, and they make up about 95% of my regular day-to-day life.
I think though that like when it says especially in a less queer area, I think a lot of the areas are queer. They're just hiding.
Get on Grindr. Find people on Grindr.
I've never checked out Bumble BFF, but I'm very curious if that works.
I'm not sure, because if I'm on a dating app and I'm swiping on someone,
it's not a dating app.
I know, but it is a dating app.
It's a best friend app. You're dating for best friends.
I don't need a best friend.
They do.
I have someone sitting.
They do.
They're
looking for a gay bestie just like you. You should be besties with. Oh, it's Anna. They're like another lesbian.
I have enough. I have
Fuck you, Anna.
Many. No, I'm kidding.
We love you, Anna.
We do. It's honestly.
I thought that said Anna RuPaul.
What I did.
What the hell?
Anna RuPaul. Hey, girl, we have a wild proposition for you. But honestly, from my thing is like, sometimes you gotta move. Mm-hmm. If honestly, being gay, it shouldn't take up like all of who you are as a person, because at the end of the day, that just gives like straight people the fucking be like, all these people are gay and always talking about being gay. It's like, yeah, we're fucking gay and we love it. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's also nice just to move somewhere where there is more community. Like sometimes searching out that fucking water and palm tree in the desert.
What was Morgan was watching a TikTok that said gayest cities in America?
Oh,
what was the number one?
I think it was Palm Springs was really up there.
Palm Springs was like second gayest ever.
I don't know what the gayest city. I think it was somewhere on the
Move there.
Yeah. Just look up where's somewhere super gay. Go to somewhere
super gay.
Portland.
Also, like, pen pals are fun.
Yeah, you can find gay community
like, honestly,
over the internet. And
what I love about the internet is you could fully post like, hey, I'm gay. I want more gay friends. This is where I live. If you're here, great. If you're not, like, maybe we can chat it up. And there's a world where you become best friends over the internet, and then you go to where they are, and then it sparks a fire in your soul, and then you move there.
Yeah, because I have a lot of gay friends over the internet that I just like.
It's sliding down.
Yeah. What is?
Your stars.
Oh, no.
You keep touching it.
I know. It's just because I'm like, I need to touch it to make sure
that it's still there.
Make sure my huge fucking cystic acne is there.
Next.
Yeah.
Love you. I hope you do well. Please give us your worst sex horror stories.
So mine is a capital SA with a red little ribbon around it.
With a ribbon around it is diabolical.
It's like the pointing arrow and like the red circle around it, so you don't avoid it, miss it. Honestly, it's low. It's like funny now. Like there's been bad things that have happened in my life, and I'm like low key funny. Like there's a humor behind it. Anyway, I had been talking to this guy for a while, and we were like texting. We hadn't like met or anything, and we were supposed to hang out. And then he like, the thing is, I'm a person that'll stay up until 3 a.m.
Waiting for the booty call.
No, waiting to like hang out. I'm like, sure, we can hang out at 3 a.m. I'm not.
So yeah, waiting for the booty call. You go no.
Anyway, I am like, sure, I'm a soldier. I'll stay up through the night. He was like, okay, can I just come over? And I was like, sure, like, let's hang out. Instantly, the vibe is bad the second he walks into my room. Like, never hang out with someone who always has a Snapchat filter on. That's when I was like talking to him on Snapchat for God knows what reason. But he loved a Snapchat filter for good reason. He was kind of ugly.
He didn't look.
No, he was. His vibe was scary. He was a 5. He like, I was like a little scared, but I was like, I'm also a person that can't say no, to a bad extent, which gives the red capital SA.
I promise I'm listening. I'm just replying to a text. I love you and I care about your story.
I'm feeling very seen and heard. So we like are making out and whatever, and I'm like, man, am I tired? I gotta make this movie hit the credits soon. And I'm doing whatever, and then I get around this man's butt, and there's a putrid green fucking stank air protruding out, and I instantly like sit up and I just say, let's hit the credits of this movie. I make that happen, and I turn my body around and I go to sleep without a word. And I told him he could spend the night because I guess I'm also an Airbnb. So I wake up. Hey, I was wearing clothes before, and I'm waking up and
I hate this story.
The clothes are happening off, and I'm just like, what's going on? I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it, but...
Trigger warning.
But then I was like, oh, what the hell was that? I get up really quick, and then I like put on my clothes and sit in the corner, literally the furthest corner of my bed, waiting for this funky ass man to like grab his backpack and get out of my house. And then I like let him out into the yard.
I relinquish him.
Get out.
I rebuked him
and I make you go, bad spirit. And he texts me after and he's like, sorry about my funky butt. That won't happen again.
I forgot about that text.
And I was like, okay, everything you just did, that was the worst thing you could have said.
Sorry about my funky butt.
And then I blocked him, and then he ended up messaging me again on a random... I blocked him on everything, and then he found me on a random app and like messaged me again one time. I was
he said, you want this funky butt?
Dude, I was like, what the hell are you thinking? And I one time saw him like post something on Twitter, and it got like 3,000 likes of him like thirst trapping. I'm like, hey y'all don't know.
Beware.
He Facetuned the fuck out of that, and also he got funky butt and is probably going to assault you. But I was gonna quote it and be like, not funky butt on my fucking on my Twitter page. So that is one of my horror stories. And now at first I was like, that was kind of funny. Like the first week I was like, that was funny.
That's
and like weird.
Because you hadn't processed the trauma.
No, and then I was like a weekend. I was like, why am I so tired? I'm so tired and I can't.
I'm so tired because I just got literally assaulted.
I can't hang out with it. I don't know why I can't hang out with anyone. My spirit's so low. What happened? And it's like, dude, maybe sit and think for a second about what just happened. Anyway, I'm way better than that. I feel way better about it now, and I'm like, that was funny. You know, life goes on. Hang loose, y'all. Actually, beware of hanging loose. They might come at you.
Fuck.
There's mine.
I could tell my plethora of assault stories, but I think that I'm gonna. Man,
it's so hard to pick.
I know it's God. Which one? I'm gonna go in a different direction, and I'm gonna go right when I had moved to Phoenix, and I had kind of been texting this guy that went to the college that I was going to, and he was like, let's go on a little freaking date. So we went on a little freaking date. We end up going home. God forbid a girl has sex on the first date. Sue me. We ended up going home, and I don't know. I didn't like think that I wanted to have sex with him. So I kind of was just like, I don't know. We were kind of like dry humping or whatever.
Dry humping will save America. Literally, you don't need to do anything
Make
but
America dry hump again. And yeah, so I don't know. We were kind of just like foreplaying a tad through and through. And then after a while, I think I was like, okay, no, I do want to have sex. So we go to have sex. And we're maybe having sex for like a solid 50 seconds. And he stops and he's like, oh. And I'm like, what? He's like, I have blue balls. And I was like, what?
How do you have blue balls when
I'm
you're
like,
doing
we're like
the deed?
actively having sex, like dump it out. I don't know. And we're actively having sex. Oh God, I don't know. I'm in a lot of pain. Just like hang on. So he rolls over, opens his, this is a frat boy, of course, rolls over, opens his mini fridge, opens the freezer section, pulls out a raw, unwrapped, frozen steak. Man spreads like this, raw steak to dick. And I'm sitting there completely naked, like baffled, jaw dropped.
I don't know which one to bite.
I was so blown away. Like, and I'm like, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a funny bit that he was doing. It, of course, wouldn't have been because he was not funny. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go. This isn't, he's like, no, just let me ice up for a bit. You're icing your blue balls and you want me to stay here and watch you do it and then what, continue? No. So I did leave. But that's my horror story. I've never experienced, funny that that's kind of my sex horror story instead of the ones that really traumatized me.
Yeah, because those aren't horror stories. Those are lifelong memories.
Lifelong memories. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get to those one day. Next.
I've lived with my grandparents my whole life. Is it cringe to get a for grandma and grandpa tat? No, that's cute.
No, it's cute.
That's cute as fuck.
Mima and Peepa.
Crushing on customers at cafe job, how to approach. So personally, I have a lot of experience with this. I don't, because also I'm in this.
Did you get in trouble?
No, but there was this guy that like would come in all the time and be very flirty with me and be staring at me, and all my other coworkers would see it. And then I would be like flirty with him, but he never asked for my number, and I never want to be. I'm like, I'm on the clock.
Yeah,
like,
you're not gonna be the first
I'm on the
one
clock,
to
and
do
I
it.
also, you're a regular here. I don't want to be like, hey, here's my number. You come here all the time.
You can't ever come back here again.
And then it's the guy that like, oh, you're the barista that has my fucking number, and I don't want to come back because you've scared me forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never done it. I've like been a little flirty with customers, but nothing's ever come of it because I feel like it's a weird space where people are like, oh, I don't want to make you uncomfortable at work. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to make you uncomfortable at the place you're dining.
I love making people uncomfortable at work. I did it all the time at my old job. My boss kind of encouraged it. We had this running joke that we were the like brothel of bakeries.
Wearing your slutty little draping clothes off your shoulder.
Clothes. Okay, well, so my coworker Audrey, she has now been dating her like cafe crush, the guy that she ran out, or I don't know, one of us ran out and gave. Let me start from the beginning and then I'll explain their love story. So there was this one guy that would come in all the time. I think his name was like Quinn or something. He would come in all the time and I thought that he was so gorgeous. And finally, after whatever time, I was like, I really want to give him my number, but I just don't think I can do it. I'm too embarrassed. I'm too insecure. So Audrey writes my number down, or no, she doesn't even write my number down. She runs out with her phone, sprints down the street, catches this man, and was like, my friend thinks you're really cute. Keep in mind, this is, 2 years ago? Like, it sounds very middle school, but my friend thinks you're really cute, and can I give you her number? And so she gives him my number, and we were just waiting the rest of our shifts, just like waiting for him to text me, and he finally did.
No, it's so scary. It's like, oh, I'm a fucking flop. I'm a fucking flop.
Oh my God, he hates me. Oh my God, he's never going to come back in here. And he did text me. We went on a date and I don't know, I think we hooked up. But I remember like vibes kind of being a little weird. And then he came back in after a while and I don't think I ever saw him, but I remember my coworker who was like 16, her name was Momo. She was like, oh yeah, Quinn just came in. It was kind of weird. Vibes were kind of weird. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Momo. I didn't mean to do that to you. But there was one situation where I wrote my number down, like, on a cup. And I gave it to this guy. He came in every single day. Every single day. Wrote my number down, or every day I was working. I gave him the cup, and I'm, like, literally hiding in the back by the fucking, like, by all the bakers being like, he hasn't texted me yet. There's no way he didn't see it. And finally, he texts me. He's like, hey, so sorry. Like, just saw this. Almost threw the cup away. Like, hee hee ha ha. I have a girlfriend. And I was like, he's never going to come back in here. And I shit you not, he didn't. He literally never came.
That's a good man.
He never came back into the bakery until the day he came back in with his girlfriend. And I was like, I literally just had to walk to the back and let my coworker take care of that because I was like, I'm embarrassed. I feel awkward. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, no, we were advocates for chase the customer out of the door, harass them, give them your number, and then if they don't reciprocate, you're not allowed back in.
and this is also a call to action. If you are a customer and you think the person behind the counter is cute, give them your number.
Because they don't want to do it to you. It's embarrassing.
I have been hit on in LA twice in my 3 years of living here. And I'm like, oh, so absolutely everyone despises me.
Everyone thinks I'm ugly.
Everyone thinks I'm the worst.
Yes.
And the people that have hit on me are like, they were like scary regulars. It was like this like little gay man who like
why can't they be gorgeous?
Who, like made me uncomfortable.
Why can't you be gorgeous? If you're gorgeous and you have a crush on me, hit on me because I want it. I want to have it. I want it.
I want it.
I want it.
Okay.
Well, if you're in New York, go to L'Appartement 4F because they flirt with their customers. No, but if you're in New York, go to L'Appartement 4F because the vibes are good there, and so are the pastries.
I can't wait
to
go there.
Love you, Ashley. Love you, Gautier. Can't wait to take you.
When we have a New York episode.
New York episode just on the street, though, and then someone runs by and steals her camera.
And I'm like, no. Wait, can we edit it first? Please advice on how to stay motivated and actually change. My take on this, once again, give yourself time. Literally the amount of ebbs and flows that are in life that are just like shit can be really bad for no reason. And then shit can be really good for no reason. And you really
changes like this.
Yeah. You just have to like ride it and like also be like, okay, I'm not settling, but I know right now I'm doing everything I can, you know? Yeah. As long as you're like putting the right foot forward, even if it's not paying off immediately, just like keep walking, sweetie. It's gonna happen eventually.
In my own personal, every time I've been so panicked, like, hey, I can't pay my rent this month. I'm going to not have a house. I can't pay I didn't pay my car payment. They're gonna impound my car. I can't, my car's not gone. I still have a roof over my head. Anytime you're feeling that like literal, every time I've like full spiraled to the point of being like, everything's ruined, everything's gone, the cops are coming. They're not coming. You're okay. It will be okay 9 times out of 10. If you're not 1 out of 10, then I'm so sorry and I'm cured for you.
We're praying for you. This is the Mr. Misinformation prayer circle. Yeah. Let's pray for them. Okay, that's enough time for them. But yeah, just it'll get better. Yeah. It will get better. Just try your best. That's all we can really do. It's a hard time out here. It's hard to figure it out. I'm 23 and have been feeling like I've been fighting for my life every single day, but I feel like it's just now getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I understand this. You can like learn and understand a situation and know what's going to happen and like readjust.
Yeah. Also, I didn't think that the person who asked this was being like this like gory, but in terms of like, you know, when people be like, taking their life, don't do that, because so many times when I wanted or tried to do that, I'm so glad I didn't, because look at me now. Hey, what? November? Look at me from November.
2.5 weeks ago?
Yeah, no, literally 2 weeks ago. No, I had a big mishap in November where I was like, this is it. And thank God it wasn't. So, and I've had 3 family members take their lives, and it just breaks my heart, because I'm like, there is and I'm someone who struggles with this as well. So it's not like, why would you do that? And I know that it's selfish, and I know that there's all of this like domino effect that comes with it, but like, it just breaks my heart because it does always get better. And I just like, if you're not around to see it, then how would you know, you know?
And it truly will get better. Yeah. You know, shit has to break down a lot for it to then reemerge. Yeah. Just allow yourself the time and space to figure new things out. Don't make any rash decisions, but change is always happening. And also, I struggle with this a lot. I like change, but I know I like when I'm in control of the change. I like when I am the one facilitating it. Yeah. And I've been learning to release that. Like, shit's going to happen. Things are going to come. Things are going to go. Really allow yourself the space to just flow.
Ebb and flow.
If you're tired, girl, lay down. Like, truly, I'm the worst at relaxing. I'm the worst at like laying down and allowing myself the space
I gotta do something
to recover. I like, if I'm not doing something, then I'm like, I'm setting myself up for failure, and that's not true.
Our bodies need it. Look at the fucking Europeans. They take like a 2 to 4 lunch break. Nobody works.
I know. And that's like fucking beautiful.
Fucking beautiful.
You've got it though. You
Got
really
it.
do. We love you and we're supporting you. Each and every one. Okay. This one's for me. Still think about / romanticize my last talking stage that ended 2 months ago, ended because of distance. Hey. Me too, girl.
Real recent.
Yeah. It was actually, it's coming up on like, we're like over half a year
No,
now.
I mean recent in the terms of you chatting.
Yeah. So I was talking to this boy, and it was like the first time, truly, I felt like it was the first time that I actually resonated with someone that I was dating. And I was like, I actually like enjoy spending time with you, and you make me laugh, and you actually make me laugh. And I really have been looking for that, just like that easy, we spend every moment together and it feels like very nice. Like I had been looking for that, and I had found it, but we both knew that he was moving away. And I was like, here's the thing. I know you're moving away. You're moving to a big city. I'm not going to, like, we both know how much we like each other, and we were very communicative about how much we liked each other and like how we were feeling and what we were thinking. And I was always at the forefront of, I'm not putting exclusivity on us, because
that'll tear you apart.
Yeah, that's like
far, and you're not already dating.
Yeah, like you're moving somewhere that is very new to you. You're doing this very big thing for yourself, and I'm very happy for you. I'm very proud of you. And I was like, I'm not putting that on you of like moving to somewhere you've never lived before and being like, hey, so also that guy you met 3 months ago, that's now your boyfriend, and now you have to like close off all these doors, whatever. In my mind, I'm not like thinking like, well, if he likes me enough, he should not care. Anyways, I buy a flight to go and see him in a city I've never been before, very excited. And then shit starts to just deteriorate, where I'm like, okay, why am I the only one putting in effort? Why am I the only one caring? Why am I the only one trying to make this work and also give him all the space he needed to do everything he needed, like letting him know if like, hey, if you can't talk for a few days because you got a lot going on, I completely understand. And that isn't just me being like,
okay, but
I'm
also like nobody should not be able to talk to you for even like 24 hours. Like when someone's like, oh, sorry, I was so busy for the last 24 hours, we couldn't talk. Hey, that's not a real fucking thing. If you want to talk to somebody, you literally will.
You just will.
You literally will. Oh, I didn't talk to you for 4 days because I was busy. I know you were on Instagram. I know you were on TikTok.
Literally.
Like if you can take the time to scroll, you can text me back. Fuck
or
you.
If that's really how you feel, you shouldn't be talking to that person.
Break up with me. God damn it.
So it ended. He like hurt me very badly and kind of like fucked me over a little bit. And I was like, whoa, like just thinking about it. And I was only thinking about like the very good aspects of it. Like I hadn't felt like this probably ever. And I had like really been searching for, like I had not been searching, but I had really like craved that intimacy I had found with him. And then it just took me a lot of like thinking and being like, I wouldn't like, I care about him so much and I really, really like him. But at the end of the day, the person I want to be with and the person I'm meant to be with isn't going to make me feel all of these ways. They're not going to make me feel, they're not going to make me cry at night, and they're not going to make me feel like shit. And they're not going to like make me so stressed about like literally doing nothing.
You should not have negative emotions associated with somebody you're not even dating also.
Yeah, so it just took me realizing like, hey, at the end of the day, the way that like I care about him a lot, and you can care about someone, but you can realize that the way they're treating you isn't to the standard that you deserve, and just be like, hey, that sucks. Let's chop it up to being like, let's hope better for the next, you know?
Literally. It's a learning lesson.
It is. And everything will be okay.
The person that I always be saying this, your soulmate should want to date you. The person that you're supposed to be with should want to talk to you. The person that you're supposed to be with shouldn't be so busy for 4 days that they couldn't talk to you. Oh my God, I was so busy. No, you weren't. You're never too busy for the person that you love. Hey.
Quite literally.
Hey.
So, yeah, just know that there's better out there. It ended for a reason.
Yeah.
And
you deserve all of everything, you and them.
Oh, really? Really? I guess that's true. My one of my best friends, Jaden, said it.
We got a couple stories, Dan, but we're pushing to the end of the podcast. But this is something I would like to do again. Would you like to do it again?
I would love to do it again. I love connecting with you guys.
Yes. Hey there, I'm 23 and I've fallen in love for the first time in my life. A few months ago, I met up in person with a girl I talked to a few times on Instagram and Discord. Just friendly chats, nothing more. The meetup went super well, the vibe was amazing, but nothing really happened because we didn't know each other that well yet. But the day after seeing her, I realized I'd fallen for her hard, totally in love. We kept chatting pretty much every day. The good vibes stayed strong, and I thought everything was going swimmingly until not too long ago I found out she's a lesbian. So here's my dilemma. I really want to keep in touch with her because we were building a super nice connection, even just as friends, but I'm struggling with the mental shift from I'm totally in love with you to just friends. Whoa.
That's a tough one.
That's kind of brutal.
That's like a doozy.
That could be your best fucking friend and your
Yeah.
like life platonic partner, you know?
And honestly, my advice is maybe communicate that.
Yeah, honestly,
know?
it is better for her to know, like, if you just come out in the open, and hey, as long as you're not a fucking creep, if you're just like, hey, I really like you, and I think that maybe we were on different pages. Maybe I read things wrong, or maybe you didn't read anything wrong, and you just fell in love with her as a person. But I think that is the basis for an incredible friendship.
Yeah,
But obviously, if you can't get over the fact that she is a lesbian, because if you only want something romantic out of that, then don't
also
be friends with her.
Yeah, I think you need to like touch base with yourself on whether you could see yourself just having a friendship with her. If you couldn't,
then you're just gonna be if you're just pining after her the
you're
whole
just
time.
gonna be like miserable, because at the end of the day, like if she's just a like a diehard lesbian, like you're not gonna.
I'll change you.
You're not gonna, and don't be like, and I'm gonna change you, guy, because that's the scariest fucking thing ever. But yeah, you either come to terms with that and are like, I really, really value this person in my life, regardless of whether it's romantic or not.
Yeah, because that happens like.
Yeah,
even
a lot.
even if you don't like, even if it's not somebody that's a lesbian or gay, it's just somebody that is like, hey, I don't like you like that, and you have to come to terms with the fact that they don't want to be with you, but you still want a friendship with them. You just have to figure out if you can throw away the romance and just be platonic. And that's hard to do, but like I feel like I've had big crushes on my friends before, and it's turned into, I mean, I'm still best friends with one of my ex-girlfriends, you know, and like there's no
weird residuals.
But yeah, we're platonic now, but she's somebody that I care and love for very deeply, but just not in the same way anymore.
Yeah, you can adjust. It's very hard, and it does depend on the person you are. But yeah, really just touch base with yourself and see whether you can see this being a friendship, or if it would, because everyone can understand it can hurt a lot. Being around someone that you're in love with and knowing that you can like basically never be with for this reason or the other. So just see how you're feeling. See if you would even like to have a conversation about how you're feeling with the person, and seeing where you can move forward with it.
This says, can you talk about mental health and medication? I just started taking an SSRI, Zoloft, and also hydro. What the hell? The fuck does that say? Hydro wife.
Hydro bleep bleep boop.
I don't know how to fucking hydro something. Hydrozyne. And would love to hear anyone else's experience with SSRIs. You have never really taken medication,
I did.
huh? Oh, you did?
Lexapro.
Fuck, wait,
I was
twin.
a
Where have you been?
Right here. I was a Lexapro warrior for about half a year. And it really, honestly, it made things worse for me.
Fuck, that does happen.
Yeah, it wasn't so much worse on like a very big like meltdowns. It literally made everything gray. Like I didn't realize.
So numb.
Yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't laughing. I wasn't enjoying time with my friends. I wasn't
I
feeling
don't
like a joy
myself,
for life.
But like I'm not happy. I
literally.
don't feel anything.
Like I don't have the motivation to kill myself because I'm bored. That's how I was feeling. So I was on that for a while, and then I stopped. And Also, be careful when you do that, and also talk to a doctor.
Yeah, coming off of things
because
abruptly are really dangerous.
the brain zaps are
brain zaps from Lexapro
so
are crazy.
Like literally, I felt like I would get like
it feels
like
like you're
struck
getting
by lightning.
electrocuted.
Yeah,
actually, and it like the
and like
first,
you're trying to make a sentence.
The first night that I took mine, like the first time I had ever taken my first Lexapro, I was laying in bed with Dylan. We're watching a movie, and I'm Little Spoon. He's in the back. The computer's right here, and I'm just staring at the screen, and I literally go. And he was like, "What the fuck was that? Did you just fall asleep?" Because like I twitch when I fall asleep, and I was like, "No, my brain electrocuted itself." And he was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about," but it was terrifying.
In trying to form a sentence when you're having brain zaps, you're like, you're like looking at a person, and your eyes are like, woo, woo.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So be careful doing that. My experience, I've learned that I don't necessarily need as much of an antidepressant as I do an anti-anxiety, which I have not looked into because, hey, I don't want to do that right now.
Super fair.
Because guess what? It gives me anxiety. Who would have thought?
The anti-anxiety gives you anxiety?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took the anti-anxiety that gives me anxiety.
Side effect, anxiety. Yeah, well, there's a negative, but I do have a positive one for you. I was at like literally the lowest of lows, like end of year last year, and I hadn't been to a psychiatrist since high school. I was like very, very, very not doing well, like in a scary way. Even my friends being like, "Hey, girl, what's going on?" And I got on Lexapro. I started with 10 milligrams, and it literally made me worse. Like I, even more than before, was like, "This is it. I'm doing it." And then she put me up to 20. And again, it was like not so great in the beginning. And then for the last like 2 months, I have been the happiest and most stable I've been in as long as I can remember. And I don't want to be on it forever. I've always been kind of scared of medication. Like I grew up in a very Eastern medicine family, very holistic. And I don't know, it wasn't really like an option. Like growing up, if anything was wrong with you, like my mom was a nurse, and like if we had to go to the doctor, it was like, no, you're probably fine. We're not going to the doctor. Mommy will bandage you up. Like my dad literally like split his fucking finger open. My mom's like, I'll do it. But yeah, I'm very happy that I got on it. I feel like, hey, it kind of saved my life, and I don't want to be on it forever, but I'm really happy. I know that people have very different experiences on it, but also you can be on the wrong medication. Like you can take one that might be horrible and you can take one that might be great and vice versa. But I don't know. I think it's worth trying and communicating with your doctor about like how you're feeling and being honest with yourself and trying to take care of yourself outside of just being on medication. But it's worth a shot. And I think that I can vouch for, hey, saved my life. So.
And there's no shame in doing it at all. No, there's no shame.
It's very normal.
You really, our bodies are huge and there's so many functioning parts. Of course, like a lot of people are going to have imbalances in their brain, and sometimes it just needs a little help. So
we live in a very scary world. Of course you're anxious. Of course you're depressed. Aren't we all?
Of course we all need a little help.
We need a little jump.
That little pill might save your life.
And we want you alive because you have to listen to the podcast. All right. That's it. I hope you're freaking happy with it.
Thank you all for listening. We love you so much. We were so happy to connect with you on a closer level by hearing your stories.
We'll do it again. And we'll do it again.
And we'll do it again.
We love you so much.
And we're kissing you.
Mwah!
And we're thinking of you.
Bye-bye.